expressed in the following show are solely those of the host.
Hello, W4CY listeners. Are you ready to learn the spiritual laws to success and wealth? Well, pack your virtual bags, because it's 1 p.m. Eastern and it's time for the Traveling Investor Radio Show, sponsored by Cornerstone Investment Partners and RE/MAX Commercial Realty Partners. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to get wealthy. And now, here's your host and travel guide, the real estate guru, Nitsan Mosery.
Happening, travelers? Nitsan Mosery here, the traveling investor, and we've got another great show for you this week. What's happening? And this is my boy Tom, philosopher extraordinaire, P.E. Zanes.
P.E.Z.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I like it.
How are you,
What's
brother?
up?
Well, Pez, Pez used to be one of my favorite candies, right? You just bend that neck back and the thing pops right out, right?
Pez, yeah.
Pez.
Seinfeld.
You got a good breath there. Very nice. Minty breath.
Thank you.
So what's going on, travelers? How you guys doing? Why don't you shoot us a little note? Let us know where you're listening in from. We've also got live on Instagram on the Traveling Investor page. And we're also live on Facebook on Tom Zanes' Facebook page. So you guys can hit us up all different ways. And a couple of announcements before we get started. December 7th, we had such a great mastermind last month that I decided to do it again. People came up with some great testimonials. People got a lot out of it. A bunch of people came to me and said, oh my God, you have no idea how things have started to change and happen for me after your mastermind, because I came in with a new mindset, with new way of thinking and all that kind of stuff. So go to ttimastermind.eventbrite.com. It's $97. It's not thousands of dollars. You're going to get your money. My guarantee is always, if you don't come out, if you don't think it was worth it for any reason, I'll give you your money back. No problem whatsoever.
Can't beat that.
Okay, you can't beat that.
But you're not going to ask.
You're not going to ask. That's right.
Yeah, you're not going to ask.
You're not going to ask, right? Because he was there. A bunch of other people were there. He's one of the advisory board, kind of the coaches after the mastermind that help you and, keep you on track and hold you accountable. So it was pretty awesome. I suggest everybody, if you can make it, it's here in Boca. It's on a Saturday, right? And for this one, I'm capping it at 15 people. 15, no more. So if you want in and you want to get on one of the best masterminds that you could be at for almost pennies, I suggest you go to ttimastermind.eventbrite.com. And I look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Renee? We got Renee from Tennessee. We got Big J from Big Texas. What's happening?
All right.
I love both Tennessee and Texas. I've got a hotel in Tennessee, and I've owned multifamily in Texas.
Those are good states for you.
Very good states. We like those states. We got Florida, Libby. We got Paul in Connecticut. What's happening, guys? Thank you for listening in. We appreciate your support and everything. I'm also going to be doing a one-day event, right? And I have this right here, so I want to show people, right? So this is the deed of a 76-unit apartment complex that I purchased last year. This is the deed for a 50-unit apartment complex I purchased last year. This is the deed of a 128-unit property that I bought this year. None of these were bought with my money.
None.
I raised capital for all of it. All of it. So if you guys want to go out there, and build yourself a stream of income that you can will it to your next generation and have it be generational wealth, you need to be at my one-day event. Keep an eye out for it. I'll be sending out the dates and the whole thing. And I'm going to show you an entire day how I go about and do this so that you can go out and create passive recurring income, and then you can do whatever it is you're passionate about, right? Because isn't that what life is about?
That's what life's about,
right?
Having fun.
And I think that's a great segue for that for our little mindset talk, right? Our
Yeah.
little, because we got a woman here that's going to be on the show in a little while. She was an entrepreneur since the age of 18, and she's went out to build companies and 7-figure companies and done all sorts of things. And, it takes a certain mindset, takes a certain mentality, right?
Yeah.
Certain
Vim.
tenacity. What did you say, vim?
Vim.
Vim. I like that. What does that mean?
It's like nerve.
Nerve.
Moxie.
Moxie. Chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah, right? It takes a certain type of chutzpah, you know?
Yeah.
So who else we got here? We got Glenn from KC, Ashley from KC, Cass from DC, Jimmy from Cali. What's up, guys? Thanks for listening in.
We got Steve and Gracie over here.
Uh-huh. And we got Jay Wizzle on Instagram. We got Cesar. We got Real Estate Adam. What's happening, guys? Thanks for joining in. So, I had a meetup last week or something, and I asked everybody. It was how to set goals, right? How to set 90-day goals.
Yeah.
But how not only to set them, but how do you actually go about and achieving them, right? And what I was talking about was taking your goal that you want to set for the end of the year, and let's bring it down to 90 days.
Bring it.
And the one thing I asked everybody, I want to ask you guys out there so you can answer us, right? You can answer it also. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all these billionaires, right? Warren Buffett, all these guys, they are filthy freaking rich. And then you've got people that can't scrape 2 pennies together. Then you've got people that are middle of the road. And you got everybody in between. What is the difference? What is the one difference? And I think it's just one thing.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that they have, in my opinion, that nobody else has? Or what is it? What is the one thing that you should have? Wow, I'm so busy here. What is one of the one things that you should have to be able to achieve that massive amount of wealth? What do you guys think? What do you think?
I think it's your thoughts.
It's your thoughts.
I think it's your thoughts.
Mhm.
What you think about, what you envision, your vision, your thoughts. I think that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Your mindset, your, do you have a lack, scarcity mindset, or do you have an abundance mindset? Do
Right.
when you encounter a problem, do you crumble or do you rise up to the occasion? This is all mindset.
Right.
So,
Okay.
that's my answer.
Mm-hmm. I guess it ties into kind of my answer as well. We got some people here. Glenn says, get off your freaking butt and do it. Absolutely, And then Jay Webb here says desire. Yes, I think we can all sum it up in one word.
Okay.
Right? Hunger. Right? How hungry are you?
That's true.
How hungry are you to go against everybody that's telling you, what are you, stupid? You won't do it. You'll never reach that success. What are you? Come on. Who's going to buy it? Who's going to talk to you? Who's going to, right?
Yeah.
If you can go through that, and if you can go through all of the mistakes and the failures and the, all of the, all the bullshit that goes along with being that successful, right? But it's hunger. It's how hungry are you? Are you satisfied with buying 100 units and that's it? Are you satisfied with making $40,000, $50,000 a year? Where are you, right? How hungry are you?
Yeah, some people just they're content, and that's fine. That's what they're not hungry for anything more, and if they're happy with that, then I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely, right?
But if not, then you got to look within and think, what's going on here? Why am I not hungry? Why am I not excited? Why don't I have that vim, the vigor, right?
That's right. That's right. I had a guy at the mastermind, not the mastermind, at the meetup. We were talking about hunger and passion and desire, and that this is something that you need to breathe it. You need to become it, right? You need to become that fire and that passion to be able to achieve massive success, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to go through all that stuff. And we were talking because he had lost his passion, right? He kind of hit his goal. His goal was to have like a certain amount of net worth. So not a lot, right? And then he went and he achieved it. Now, and he realized that goal in his mind was greater than what reality was.
Yeah.
And he kind of got bummed. And he's like, okay, now what? Geez, where do I go from here? And we talked about how to find your passion, right? How to go about and create that them or find that them,
Yeah.
right? What do we got here? What does Libby say?
You have to have the drive. Without the drive, you have nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Jay Webb, I have a daily fear that I've been waking up with lately that I've been trying to push through, especially now with taking on the journey of taking care of my elderly father's affairs. Hey, man, you know what? We all have fear, right? Everybody's going through life with their own fears, their own insecurities, their own issues.
Yeah, me too.
What we have to understand is that we're all there. We're all working through our own stuff. And the thing to do is to just keep pushing through.
Yeah.
You know, someone once told me, when you're going through hell, just keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Right? Because if you stop, you're stuck in hell.
There's a beautiful neighborhood on the other side of hell.
Exactly. So just keep going. Just keep going. And if it's fear makes you cautious.
Yeah.
Right? So step wisely, step cautious, make sure that, all the angles are there, and try to understand what that fear is, right?
Yeah. What's the fear? Fear is always irrational. It's never real. Fear is not the truth of you. So look at the fear, understand this isn't the truth of me. This isn't who I am. This isn't whatever that fear is.
Right.
And you can fight through that.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, I'm messing this up here now. There we go. Just need to see what time it was.
Fear.
So fear, what does fear stand for,
fear.
right? Forget everything and run, false evidence appearing real.
Right.
Right? All that stuff, right?
All that.
And it's true. It's in our head, right?
It's completely.
It's like, the anticipation of death is worse than death itself.
Yeah. Well, you're not living in the now then. You're in the future.
You're not living in the now. Yeah. You're worried about dying. What am I going to do? Blah, blah.
Right.
So the anticipation of it, the worry of it is there. That's the fear, right?
Yeah.
Live in the moment, live in the present, be here, be now. There's no room for fear, right? There's no room for negative mind, for all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Right? So just keep strong. And we're here for you, right? Every week, Wednesday, 5 p.m., w4cy.com. You can come, you can share, you can talk, right? This is what we're here for. We're here to help people go to the next level. All right. What else?
You tell me. Mindset? What do you do when you what's a fear that you have? Let's get candid here, and I'll share a fear of mine. You share a fear of yours.
A fear of mine is not being able to support my family. I have 2 children. I have 2 girls.
Okay.
So the fear is that I won't be able to make enough money, and that we'll lose the house, we'll lose everything, and what do I do? That I might not be good enough.
Yeah.
Right.
That's devastating.
That's a huge fear,
something
man.
to be afraid of.
That scares the
You're
shit.
scaring the shit out of me right now.
It scares the shit out of me, right? But you know what? That's what wakes me up in the morning, right? That's what makes me do this. That's what makes me go out and find other avenues, other streams of income.
Yeah.
How to tighten up what I've got now. The expenses on the properties, make sure everything's running smoothly and tight, so that we can maximize our profits and do all that. Finding new streams of income, finding new ways of helping people. That's just you got to keep going. You got to keep moving, right? Until I'm able to have enough multifamily properties of my own that can generate that monthly income, where then I can say, okay, now I can actually step back a little bit and hand things over a little to other people and let it run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's a big fear of mine.
Everybody has something.
And what about you?
Me? I'm not a fan of public speaking. It's something I've gotten a lot better at.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different dynamic for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like one-on-one was never a thing. Put me in front of a room of people, especially if I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird dynamic for me.
Sure.
So I joined Toastmasters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was horrible at first, and a year later, I was winning all the contests.
That's great.
Yeah, but that's in front of 10 people, 15 people.
Mm-hmm.
So all I can do is push through and gradually raise my vibration and get in front of more people. And at some point, speaking in front of a lot of people would be a joke,
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
I took up stand-up comedy a little bit.
Nice.
And I don't have a problem standing up in front of 1,000 people and talking. It's not one of my fears. It's I don't
You don't
I
have
don't care.
that. Yeah.
But when I got up for the first time to do an open mic with comedy,
Yeah.
now I have to really get people to have a specific reaction at a specific time with specific words. And, you know, if you don't have a laugh, then it's just crickets. You just hear crickets and crickets and crickets. So that was pretty exciting. And you know, but yeah, you know, people like us, we look at fear and we're like, yeah, okay, you know what? Let's see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right. We investigate it. We dig into it. Right. We say, hey, you know what? If I'm afraid of that, let me go do it.
Yeah. First time you do something is always odd. You know, the first time I did an interview on my show, I was nervous. And then after I did a few, I was like, this is nothing. Then I did a Facebook Live. And the first time I did a Facebook Live, I was nervous. And I did a few of them. I was like, this is a joke. First time I did your show, just because it was your show, I was nervous because it wasn't my show. It was your show.
Sure.
I was a little nervous. And then now I do this, and it's nothing. So that's what life is. You meet, I think the best way to handle it is to meet a little bit of discomfort. Okay, if I try to go speak in front of 5,000 people, it's not going to work.
Right.
So what you do is you lean into the discomfort gradually. You speak in front of 5 people. You speak in front of 10.
Little successes.
Right. And
little victories.
Little victories. And you can handle that mentally. That's not a big deal.
Right. Right.
So that's lean into your fear, but not too much. If you're trying to cliff dive, you don't go up on the high dive right away. You jump off the side. Right. Then you move up 2 feet, then 5 feet. That's how you do it.
That's right.
All fears, that's how you handle it. Absolutely. Lean into them.
Lean into it. I like that. Lean into it, right? Put the shoulder down.
Yeah.
And just start driving.
That's it.
What do we got here? We got Cesar saying, hey, talking about the mastermind. I was at the previous one and come out completely changed with a different mindset, more positive and feeling more powerful. And the universe put a great real estate deal in front of you.
There you go.
Cesar left, and a couple of days later, he's back home. He got a duplex. He's putting it under contract. It's worth about 140. Its purchase price is about in 100 and something, and it's almost worth double than what he paid for it. So it's awesome.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. Put it in front of me, and I was able to put it under contract and looking to do the closing soon. Woo!
All right, Cesar.
Yeah, man. Amen. Thank you, Nitsan, for putting the event together for everyone to go. Awesome, brother.
Good job, man.
You rock, man, because you did it, right? You did it. Nobody else did it for you, right?
Yeah.
You did it, Cesar, right?
You did.
Awesome, brother. Fantastic. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. All right. So before we go to a break, I'm going to talk a little bit about the woman that we have on the show who, you know, I like to bring people that add value to the show, right? That understand the right mindset, that have succeeded, that have gone through the steps, right? Yeah. That have devastated themselves with worry, have put systems together, right? Have put processes together, all that stuff. So Stacy, and I'm going to probably destroy her name, Tushel. She's a third-generation entrepreneur who started her first business, check this out, at the age of 18, and guess where? In her parents' backyard, and turned that company into a 7-figure business that she still runs today. Now, don't these like big people start in the same places? The garage, downstairs, in the backyard,
downstairs,
right?
Yeah, in the basement,
right?
Video games,
wherever they can,
in a broom closet,
right? Yeah. Wherever there's space and they can go do it, that's where they're going to go do it, right? Besides running her 2 performing arts academies in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it's got to be cold.
Yeah,
got to be cold. Stacy's also been building her real estate portfolio. Go figure, a successful person building their real estate portfolio. So if a successful person is building their real estate portfolio, why don't you go build your real estate portfolio now? Yeah. Why wait?
They're not buying stock in Apple.
Right. They're buying real estate. You know when's a great time to buy real estate? Now. It's always now.
When's the second best time?
Now. Let's see here. So she's a landlord for over a decade. She's a marketing strategist, best-selling author, and the creator of Foot Traffic Podcast and Community, where she helps small business owners get more customers through the door and more profit in their pocket. Who doesn't want that? She's a mom of 2 little girls and married to her husband, Kent. So when we come back from our break, Stacy is going to be here, and we're going to talk to her, and we're going to see where she's coming from, and she's going to drop some awesome nuggets of information. So grab a pen, paper, take notes, whatever you can, record the show, listen to it later, come back to it. It's going to be awesome. All right?
Yeah.
So we'll be right back from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Traveling Investor on W4CY Radio. Please take a moment to listen to the sponsors who have a secret message just for you. Don't leave. The best is yet to come. The Traveling Investor will be right back.
I wanna be rich. Oh, I wanna be rich.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the Real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the Real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Hey, this is Rebel Medler. Join me for In Your Face on W4CY.com, Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it.
How healthy is your pet? Does your pet suffer from ear infections, allergies, diabetes, cancer? Does your pet have a sensitive stomach? Well, we have the solution. Who are we? Fiesta Pet Deli. South Florida's original and only fresh food deli for pets. Our exclusive real food diets bring back the puppy and kitten in your pet. Have a healthier pet, less shedding, less scratching and itching, and eliminate allergies. We carry a full assortment of healthy, holistic, frozen, canned, and dry foods. Try out South Florida's largest selection of natural supplements. We also have a large selection of natural treats, chews, and natural grooming products. It's only natural to stop by Fiesta Pet Deli for all your natural products to keep your pet healthier and happier. Stop by Fiesta Pet Deli at the Festival Marketplace, located at Sample Road and the Turnpike in Pompano.
What's happening, travelers? Nissan Moser here, the Traveling Investor, and I've got Tom Zames, Philosopher Extraordinaire.
PEZ.
PEZ, what's happening, dude? All right, so before we went on break, I was talking about Stacy, and we have her here on the show right now. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey,
We're doing
Stacey.
great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So, is your last name pronounced Tuschel?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's shocking that you got it right.
Is that a German name?
I thought it was German the first 10 years I was married and recently discovered it's Austrian. So, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, close. Very close.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice. So, thanks for being on the show. I know you're super busy, and my assistant Julie follows you, and she's talking, very highly about you and how you've helped her, and all the great things that you're doing. And she's like, you know what? Anytime she needs to be on your show because she's got some great information she's going to share with everybody and whatnot. So, thanks for being here and welcome.
Yeah.
I heard
Thanks for
about you
having
from
me.
Julie, too.
Oh, very cool.
All good things.
There you go. You see, so you've got people talking about you. That's the best form of marketing, isn't it?
Hey, I was just going to say that's exactly what you want to hear for sure. So thank you.
Awesome. So you've been an entrepreneur since the age of 18.
Yes, absolutely. So I, right out of high school, had decided I was going to just do something for fun. I was going to teach dance lessons in my parents' backyard. And it snowballed without me realizing it. And I had 100 kids come into my parents' backyard within 3 years. And then I decided, okay, I need to incorporate and actually start charging and making this be a business.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you're a dancer?
I was a dancer. I haven't danced in a long time. I haven't taught in a long time just because the business started to really scale. We now have 1,000 music and dancers, not in the backyard. We ended up getting a place to call home. So we have 2 locations here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it's a really big, it's growing. We have 50 employees. We have just been growing and growing. So because of that, I had to make a tough decision and pull myself out of the classroom to focus on the business and not work in the business.
That's a huge point that I hear a lot of newbie entrepreneurs, people starting in the entrepreneur business. They don't understand the difference between working in your business and working on your business.
Yeah.
It's hard, coming from that mentality of always you doing it, right? Doing what you need to do and whatnot. They don't look at it from the perspective of 30,000 foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And if you're always working in it, back-to-back appointments, or being the technician, because a lot of us fall in love with our passion, we're the doer, right? And if you're working so hard in it, all of a sudden at the end of the day, you feel exhausted and you realize, I haven't really moved the business forward, right? You feel like you've been working all day, but for some reason you're still not ahead.
So how do you separate the time that you need to work in your business from the time that you work on your business?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think depending on what stage you're in your business, it will make a difference. So in the beginning, I was the main dance teacher. I mean, I was working in it a lot. And as I started to bring in money, that's when I said, okay, who do I need to bring on to help me? So do I add more teachers? Do I add somebody in the customer service space, right? You're constantly taking things off your plate until at the, I don't want to say the end, but as you grow into your business, you will truly be working on it most of the time, hopefully 80% of the time, and in it less than 20% of the time.
Right. Absolutely. That's great. And, you know, and it's funny how I most entrepreneurs have kind of the same story. Oh, you know, I was just doing this, and next thing I know, right, it just happened, right? When did you, because you were teaching kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest pro that I had going for me, I guess, is I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. So my grandfather started an excavating company where they dig basements for houses, and it's a family business. It's still going strong. It's 50 plus years old, I think now. And I didn't ever think I was going to be an entrepreneur, but I think I had that in me to be a self-starter, to make it happen, to think, oh, I could try this or I could do that. And fortunately, as I was having these kids come to the backyard and it started to really grow without paying for marketing or anything like that, my family said, this could be a business. Like, if you want to do this, I think this could be it. And if I didn't have them say it, I don't know that I ever would have thought that, because it just wasn't what my intention was. And I thought I was going to go to school, get a regular job, work for somebody else. But, you know, life turns out not always the way you expect.
Right. That's right.
That's why it's important, though, to have the right friends around you. You know, what if your parents said, this is stupid, this is dumb, right?
Absolutely.
Would you have done it?
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like, you might have that mom or that sibling or that friend who's kind of telling you don't do it, but you have control of who else you're hanging out with and who you all, want to surround yourself with. So if you're like, oh, I don't have that parent, that support, that spouse support, then go find other people who are like-minded that can help you, because they're out there. There are so many incredible entrepreneurs, small business owners. When you say your goals, they're going to say, that's amazing, you should go for it, versus somebody who does love you and care about you, but they're not a risk taker. And what you're telling them is scaring them to death. They're like, stay in your safe spot. This is too scary, too risky. So stay around those people that can truly help support you. And they've done it already. They've already walked the walk.
Absolutely. That's some great advice. That's what we always tell people. It's
crucial.
Right?
Yeah.
I tell my clients, that I mentor, I say, you know what, find somebody who has what you want, do what they did, and you'll get what they got, right? Yeah. Think the way they do, work the way they do, surround yourselves with the same type of people that they are, become that successful person in all of that way. And you just go step by step, and you have
the same exact results.
Yeah, the same results.
If you mirror everything.
Yeah. And I always say it becomes your new normal. A few years ago, I would have never thought I could have written a book, but now I have all these friends who are authors. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, who did you use to edit it, and who, draft the cover? And now all of a sudden it's really easy because it's your new normal, right? So what are you looking to do? Who do you need to get around? I love what you just said. That is absolutely what I preach as well.
Mm-hmm. And so great segue. What's the book? What's the title? And what's the book about?
Oh, so my book is called Is Your Business Worth Saving? And it was basically because I was getting a lot of clients coming to me saying, this is hard. I'm not making money. Should I even continue? Like, is this even worth it? And I wrote it to the person who, like, in his heart, wants to continue, wants to make it happen. They just need to know the strategies. They need to know what they don't know right now. And that's why I created it.
Wow, that's fantastic. And what was the title again?
Is Your Business Worth Saving?
Is your business worth saving? Okay, fantastic.
Because not every business is worth saving, right? I mean,
That's
there's some
true.
people that started it and it's just not for them. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's
It's not
a good
scalable,
point.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Shark Tank, you see some of these ideas, they just got to let go of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a listener, Renee. She's actually, I don't know if Renee is a male or female. We just say Renee. Okay, so Renee is asking, how did you start the dance class? Did a kid ask you for dance lessons, or did you decide one day, you know what, I want to teach dance in my backyard?
Great question. So right out of high school, I was a dancer. I was taking classes. I was on my dance team, and I knew that I was going to be going to school. I wasn't going to be a professional dancer. And selfishly, I started it because I wanted to continue my love of dance. I wasn't like, oh, I would love to teach children. I just thought, well, what could I do that would keep me in this? And yeah, I could probably teach some middle schoolers, knowing I'm a few steps ahead of them, what to do and how to do it. And I fell in love with teaching. I fell in love with business. And that is why the business just kept exploding.
That's awesome. So you had the love, you had the passion, you had the desire. You didn't necessarily know how and what, but that you figured out on along the way, right? So
Yeah.
the main things that we always talk about as well on the show is you got to have the passion, you got to have the desire,
Yeah.
and we were just talking about it earlier. You got to have that hunger,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's not enough to have the skill and the talent. You got to have that hunger.
Yeah.
And this is why it's important to take action. You take action, and then these things fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
If it's meant to be, it'll fall. It might even happen easy, right? It sounds like it happened very easy for you.
It happened easy until I decided this is going to be a real business. And then all of a sudden, all these things went on. Just because I grew up in a family business, I wasn't in the family business. I didn't know what they were doing. And I had to learn all of this stuff. I don't want to say on my own, because I started to read books, go to conferences, find a coach, find a mentor. But until then, I felt very alone. And then all of a sudden I realized, wow, there are other people out there willing to share their secrets, and not even secrets. They're putting it out there for free on Google and YouTube and all these amazing places. And that really, really helped me, I think.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So, all right, so let me ask you this. So once you started working in your business and you were getting clients and you were teaching and teaching and teaching, who was the second person you hired?
I immediately hired an additional teacher so that I could get out of the classroom a little bit to work still in the business, but in the administrative side. So collecting bills, following up with people who hadn't paid yet, the things that still need to happen, even though it wasn't my sweet spot or what I wanted to be doing, but it was necessary for the growth of the business.
Right. So you brought someone who could duplicate you in a certain area that you can then pull back and continue working on other matters until you were able to duplicate yourself in another area and so forth and so on, right?
Yeah. And I just kept saying, what am I not that great at? Like, what do I really dislike? And what could somebody jump in and do this for at probably a much cheaper wage than what I was costing myself doing it? And really pretty soon we just kept growing and growing. I mean, now we have 50 employees. So we just see the huge value in growing a dream team and really getting everybody on the same vision.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How often do you guys set goals for your business?
So everybody has what we call their KPI. So their key performance indicators, they are trying to hit every single week. We have a weekly team call, but then monthly, we are jumping into what we call our leadership meeting. So every first Monday of the month, we go in and everybody kind of shares what's working, what's not, what do we want to see for next month. And it's just a really good recap for us to kind of get on the same page.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, weekly. It's important. Very, very important. I like to keep the KPIs.
Yeah.
And having the KPIs are important because when other people can take ownership of their department and they know what they're striving for and they set their own KPIs. So it's not like, oh, Stacy's telling me what to do again, or she's picking this outrageous goal. They're setting the goal and we're just helping them with that. If it's maybe a little unrealistic, they're stretching too far. We don't want them to always miss the mark either. We want them to feel good about what they're doing in our business. Sure. So that's a KPIs, having those are just a huge factor in really having everybody take ownership. And
that's great. So let's talk about your podcast now, because I know you got to leave in about 6 minutes.
Oh, no. And my husband happened to get off of work early, so I'm actually okay to keep chatting. So whatever you need.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about it's your foot traffic podcast and community, because now you also go out and you help small business owners with marketing strategies and so forth.
Yeah. I think naturally, as I started to work on my business, it started to explode. And local businesses were saying to me, how are you doing this? Teach me what you're doing. We grew through the recession every single year, and people just started to naturally want to know what was going on. So I started, again, for free, going, yeah, sure, we can go to meet at Starbucks, we can meet at Panera. And I was just for fun, like teaching people what I was doing. And I never thought I could charge for this, or I could have people hire me. Who am I to be, doing this? And then it just started to happen so frequently. And I realized, okay, I think I really do have something here, and I could be sharing and really coaching and mentoring other people. I've been in business now over 17 years. That backyard story was 17 years this past summer. So I do have a lot to share. And the podcast is a really great way for people to listen if they can't afford a mentor yet. And then if they want to continue, there's just so many other ways too. So that it's been a huge passion project of mine.
Oh, wow. That's great. Yeah, it's one of the main reasons why I have the radio show as well. Why we do this is to be able to give back to people, so that, we were talking to one of our guests, our listeners, and he's sharing about, some of his fears that he's got. And so there's a great place for people to come and to connect, and they don't have to worry about laying out funds and whatnot. And, if anybody wants to talk more later, we can.
Yeah, it's just a great place for them to start, I think. Build a connection with somebody, and it's funny how people can listen for years and they feel like they know you and they know everything about your business. And I think it's a really great way to go deeper with our clients or potential clients.
Absolutely. We've got a listener, traveler, asking Johnny, how do you know it's time to expand your business?
I actually love this question so much because I have 2 locations with my studios. So people always want to know, oh, it's time to grow. Should I franchise? Should I add another location? And I always tell people, you want to add or expand to your business when the first core piece of it is doing well. It's a well-oiled machine. You could leave for 30 days and everything would go off without a hitch. You have great cash flow. Like everything is just amazing that you want to duplicate it. A lot of times people come to me and they're like, I'm not making enough money. This business is just not working for me. I'm thinking about a second location because maybe then I'll make enough money. And I'm always like, no. If you're not making enough money now, or any money, 0 times another location is still 0 with way more headache. So please get everything under control before you decide you want to add, franchise, expand your business. It really should be a well-oiled machine, and it shouldn't take more of your energy in that time because it's going to take a lot more of your resources, including finances.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Multiplying 0, you still get 0.
Yeah, I can't think of anything worse than having a business that doesn't make money and then opening up another one on top of it that doesn't make money.
Huge headache. And it's crazy because we say it and we think that no one would do that. I'm telling you, people think, well, maybe I just need a second one, and they'll share some expenses. So maybe it'll be more like they justify it in their head why this is going to work out. And I'm telling you, I've never seen it once work out in their favor.
So listen up, travelers, Johnny, if you want to expand, just make sure your business, as Stacy said, has got good cash flow. You can walk away for 30 days and it'll still be humming and everything will be taken care of. And if you can check off those boxes, then by all means go and open up another one, expand, right? Hire more people, do what you need to do to grow. Absolutely. So, it's most successful people, once they, hit that financial success, they go and they invest in real estate. Why do you like real estate? Why do you invest in real estate?
I heard very early on, as somebody who has a physical location, let's do the math. How much is it going to cost you to rent for the next 30, 40 years? And what if you could have your own building and do this? So I caught my first bug with my commercial building. But then I was young. I was maybe 22, 23 when I was starting to look for a house for myself. And I convinced my husband, what if we got a duplex? We lived on the bottom. We rented out the top, and I promised we would just be there for 2 years. And it worked out. We were there for 2 years. We ended up building our home after that. We kept the house, rented the bottom, and we saw what it was like to be landlords for long-term tenants. And then he wanted a lake house. And I said, what if we got a lake house, but we rented it when we weren't using it, right? So you slowly start to snowball, and truly it does become passive income. And I mean, again, this is a business. It's just the same. There are things to learn, but there are people out there sharing their expertise. They're talking about what it's like to do short-term rentals, long-term, what it's like to own commercial. I just feel like there are so many ways that we could be making this passive income. And I know there is some work involved, but it is more passive than a lot of my other businesses. And I just think it's such a great retirement strategy. And not just that, but a positive cash flow every month if you do it right. So we have, like I said, we did a long-term property for about 10 years. We just sold it last year because we love the short-term market. We've been doing a lot of different Airbnbs. So we have one here in Wisconsin. We now have one in Florida. And then I have 2 commercial buildings that I both own. And what I did with the second location, because I knew more the second time, was I added on a tenant space. So my dance studio is next to a nail salon that signed a 10-year lease with us. It's perfect because the moms get their nails done while their child dances. So again, it's just like, what can we be doing to add to our wealth without it taking and so much more of your time? You know, one tenant, but he's there for 10 years is huge.
Absolutely. That's the secret of it, right? You said it right. How can we build our wealth without really going out and getting our hands dirty, right? I mean, there is work involved, right? You got to know your numbers. You got to know your due diligence. You got to, you got to have people like Tom who can get you good financing for the properties, right? You got to know all the different aspects of it. But, it definitely is the way to wealth, and it's a way to maintain your wealth. A lot of tax strategies involved in it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When I talk to new clients, I tell them, I say, you don't have to go out and buy 100, 200, or even 1,000 unit portfolio. What are your bills? Your bills are $2,000 a month, your utility bills, your car payments, this, that, $2,000, $3,000. Why don't we go out and find a property that will cash flow positive $3,000, $4,000 a month, and now all your bills are paid, and now you have less of a headache. Now you can breathe a little bit more, and then we can go out and we can do something else, and we can, right? Like
now you're on the offensive instead of playing defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very fortunate that somebody in my dance world was bringing up real estate and bringing that up so young, because it was hard for me to wrap my head around. But I'm so, again, fortunate to be surrounding myself with other people doing this and going, this is exciting. This is working. And I've been a landlord now for over 10 years. So this isn't something I just started doing. It has been a longer strategy, but something I will continue to build for sure.
Absolutely. And it's something that you can leave to your kids. You can package it nicely in all different types of tax vehicles and whatnot, and hand it off to them, and do really nice things with it. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, and when some of these mortgages are paid off by these tenants paying them, imagine what that's going to look like when, we start to retire at a certain age and everybody's worried about, how much money will I have? Well, I'll actually be making more money because I won't owe the mortgages, but the money still keeps coming in. So that's a really powerful tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's the where can we find your podcasts?
The podcast is called Foot Traffic, and it's basically everywhere that you can find podcasts.
Awesome.
And then we have like a after show inside of a Facebook group community, also called Foot Traffic. And you can find that at stacytuschel.com/community.
Awesome. And it was something else that so one of your things here is that I'm reading, it says how maybe you can share with us before we go some tips about how to get more customers through the door. Marketing strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the biggest things, just because I know we're kind of wrapping up, I won't go too into it, but one of the biggest things is, yes, we want to continue to stay up to date with social media, live video, podcasting. All of these amazing tools are great, but that doesn't mean that we get rid of the personal connection. Yes, we're mass emailing everybody with our weekly newsletter, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be personally reaching out to certain people. We have 1,000 music and dance clients. And we recently, our team called every single student to ask how our class is going. And you might think, well, how does that help us? But it retains customers. It increases that customer experience. And you can be doing these strategies with potential prospects, right? As well as current customers. So yes, I'm a fan of all of the bots and the messages and the text messages and all of that. But I'm also thinking, how can I just personally reach out and talk to people or be there to answer versus everything being so automated? So don't forget that as we just keep getting more and more advanced in this world.
There's a buddy of mine loves this one company he orders products from. And the thing he loves about them so much is that every time his product comes, there's a handwritten, hey, Brian, thanks for your order. We appreciate you. Just something like that, right?
Yeah.
A human touch, human element. That makes all the difference.
And it makes you feel like, oh, wow, this is a real person I'm buying from versus a big, big company. And I mean, there is talk of another recession coming and, oh no, what are we going to do? And everybody's freaking out. And as somebody who's been through a recession, I can tell you that those personal little touches and that human connection will get you through it, and you can thrive through it and make an amazing impact during that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those connections help you overcome and adapt any situation.
Absolutely.
Right? It's like with our investors. You know, we buy multifamily complexes all around the country, and you know, our investors want to hear from us. They don't just want to get an email, right? And so one of the things that I like to do is I like to create a little video of just me talking, and it can be a 2-minute video, and it's just, hi, how are you? This is what's going on with the property and so forth. And they like that because they first of all, they get to see who's the guy with the voice and the whole thing, and right. But we get to talk to them, and then I call them, right? It doesn't matter if we're paying out distributions, right? If we're not paying out distributions and we're communicating, they're okay. If we're not making distributions and we're not communicating with them, they're definitely not okay.
That's not good.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, you know, you always want to communicate, you want to talk, you want to be able to share with people and be transparent with whatever's going on.
Yeah. Well, and if you have a company that's so large and there's just no way you could ever do that for everybody, then send out the mass video or email or whatever that is, but still do some of that proactively, because you don't have to message all 1,000 people. Even if you did 10 a week, it's still going to make a huge difference with your clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Stacy, we've got 3 minutes left. Any last nuggets you want to share with us on building your business, systems, processes?
Yeah. Don't get me started on systems and processes. That is the only way I can do all of the stuff that I'm doing is because of systems and processes. And as, you know, boring as it is so exciting, because when you build that system or that process, it means somebody can jump in and help you do it. It is the only way we can have 50 employees and for people to do what we actually want them to do. So, and it's not something you have to do when you start building a team. You can do it when you're a solo entrepreneur, because when you hire somebody, they get to jump in, be really impressed by your system and processes, and then they can help you build it as well. So that wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to say, just show up daily, consistently, putting in the work, whether or not you feel like, is this even working? Am I even getting the result? You just need to keep going no matter how hard it gets or what the situation is. And like you had said, surrounding yourself with people that can continue to push you will help you. But consistency is so, so important.
Absolutely. Consistency, huh?
Yeah.
Right? You just got to keep at it. You got to keep at it. You can never, ever quit. You need to keep pushing forward, right? We got here, Jay Webb is saying, Stacy is great, #inspired. There you go.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks so much.
That's what we want to do, right? We want to help people. We want to inspire people to be the greatest that they can be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we are so fortunate that we are able to be on these platforms and be able to talk to people instantly with the power of what we're doing right now. So I appreciate your time for being here.
Absolutely. All right, Stacy. Well, thanks for being on the show. Is there you gave us your website already, right?
Yep. My name is a little tricky to spell, but you can go find me at Stacy Tuschl on all platforms, and my website is there as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So, travelers,
All right,
if you want, we'll be posting this as well. And we'll be posting Stacy's website and her book and everything. Well, Stacy, thank you so much for being on the show. Really, it was a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully, we can get you on the show again and continue
definitely.
with systems and processes.
Yeah,
Yes, I would love it.
I got to
Yeah, I
hear
would
about these
absolutely love
processes.
Right? That'd be awesome.
All
Well,
right,
stay
thanks,
warm.
guys.
Stay warm in
Yes.
Wisconsin.
All right,
All
thanks,
right, take
guys.
care.
Bye,
Bye.
Stacy.
So, travelers, that was Stacy Tuschl, and that was awesome, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
Yeah, she gave
fantastic.
some great information. I'm going to listen to it again. Before we go,
Jay, thanks, brother.
oh
I
yes,
see your comment here, man.
yeah, man, you
Appreciate
fellas
it,
are
dude.
awesome right now. Dig the rawness and transparency. We love you as well, brother. Hit us up. So before we go, it's time for us to go. December 7th, Mastermind, Boca Raton, Florida, ttimastermind.eventbrite.com. And I'm going to leave you with this. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. And may the sunshine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. Until the next time, travel well, travel safe. This is Tom Zames. I'm Nitzan Mosery. We'll see you next week somewhere on Spaceship Earth. Take care.
Wow, what a great show! Are you excited to learn the untold secrets of how to get wealthy? Then tune in next Thursday and every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on W4CY Radio. You too can learn how to become a traveling investor. If you missed any part of this episode or want to hear it again, go to the Traveling Investor Podcast on iHeartRadio. You can listen to all past episodes on demand 24/7. Next week's episode will take us somewhere new and exciting, so don't miss it. Thank you for listening.